They have handouts, Rosie. Thank you so much. Okay, we have the convention center. Begin with the question that was relayed to all the other departments that came before you. With the understanding of a status quo recommended budget, what does that mean for the operations of your department? And just for the viewing audience, if you can explain briefly what your department does as it relates to service in the city. And then the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Well, good afternoon. I'm Charles Starks, President and CEO at the Music City Center of the Convention Center Authority. And to my right is Heidi Runyon, our Director of Finance. And in a nutshell, our mission statement, which is on page 1, kind of talks a little bit to how we go about and what we try to do. We really try to get people to come to town, spend all their money, make sure they have enough money to leave town. We don't educate them. We don't do anything else for them. We send them home happy. So that's really our goal, trying to get conventions to come into town and spend money with us. As y'all are aware, the MCC receives no money from the general fund or from Metro taxpayers at all. So we're self-sufficient in what we have as far as streams of revenue that we collect along with our operating revenue. So we were not part of the status quo budget per se, but we certainly live within our means of what we have at the Convention Center Authority. Just a couple of quick highlights this year, and I know we're the last one between you and getting out of here, so we'll try to be brief and certainly be respectful of any questions you have. I want to talk a little bit just briefly about our team and what they were able to achieve this year. We were awarded this year from the International Association of Venue Managers, which is our recognized trade association worldwide, as a Venue Excellence Award for convention centers worldwide. We received that this last July. That talks a little bit about how we do operationally and how we do with customers, but what it really impacts is the 250 plus a number of temp staff that we have back at the Music City Center, along with the contractors we work with, to do an outstanding job 365 days a year. So really proud of our team, what they've accomplished. We were the youngest, if you will, we'll be 5 years old here in just a few weeks, which is hard to imagine sometimes. We were absolutely the youngest winner, if you will, to ever win a Venue Excellence Award in less than 5 years. So we're very proud of that. I think we should be. I think our entire city should be very proud of that. Direct economic impact, what we've seen since we opened the building back in May of 2013, again, it'll be 5 years here on May the 20th, is that we've hosted a little over 1,450 plus events, about $1.56 billion in direct economic impact to the city of Nashville, and that averages over these first 5 years of $950,000 a day. So we're certainly living up to what our expectation, or exceeding our expectations, but living up to and exceeding what was expected there. Now, that sounds great in what we've done the first 5 years, but really what we want to talk a little bit about for just a moment is the amount of business we've got pre-booked into the future. Because what typically happens when you look at any new opening of a convention center in North America in particular is that you start out, you've got a book of business that's on the books when you open the door. That tends to tail down just slightly and then kind of reaches a little bit lower, and that becomes your stabilized future business booked, if you will. That number always tends to decline from where it was at the day you opened. Not only has ours continued to rise over the 5 years, but as of today, we have more business on the books for future years than we've had at any time in our 5-year history. So we have conventions that are firmly booked out to 2028. We have proposals out as far as 2034 and working with customers every day in that kind of realm of time frame. So the future does look extremely bright in what we've got seeing on the horizon for us. And I think that really is a testament to what we've seen in Nashville and what the branding of Music City is to bring people here. And then the amount of repeat customers we're seeing is quite phenomenal. We don't stop at just trying to bring people to town and certainly spend a lot of money with us. We take social responsibility and community involvement very heavily. We've shared with you some numbers on our diversity business enterprise, where we ended up last fiscal year, about 47% of all of our dollars were spent with DBE firms. and where we are through the first 2 quarters. Second quarter is always our lowest quarter of spend, just based on the holidays and some things there. So that number will jump substantially here over the last 2 quarters of this year. From an environmental standpoint, certainly we've talked an awful lot about solar panels and rainwater, which we currently, it takes care of about 48% of our total usage in the facility from our rainwater collection tanks, are enough for 37 households in Metro Nashville. Additionally, we donated this past year a little over almost 34,000 pounds of food to the Nashville Rescue Mission. So when we have an event going on at the convention center and we have excess banquet food left, each day that goes over to the rescue mission. So great partnership we've had with them for the first 5 years. And then with food waste, we composted a little over 36,000 pounds of food this past year. And then our bees, we like talking about the bees, and we get a lot of questions about the bees. And so the bees produced us about 60 pounds of honey before they went into hibernation. And I can tell you that all 4 hives are doing quite well right now, and are flying around on the roof, and I saw them earlier today. So they're in good shape right now. Community involvement, we're heavily involved with Metro schools. We partner with Hunters Lane High School through the academies, do a number of events there with them each year. We also, between sending out guest lecturers, between doing job shadows, we have 8 students that come to us each month for job shadows. Some other involvements that we've had there. On a Metro-wide perspective, I tell Dr. Josephus each year, 1 day a year, we get to have the largest school in Nashville. We host all 9th graders for a career fair and an academy fair to give them a preview of what they should expect in their next 3 years of high school. So they'll be with us again this fall. This past year was about 7,000 9th graders. And then nonprofit community and what we really believe in, which we said we would do when we were building this building. You've seen pretty substantial number of events coming through there, and I would imagine most of you at some point, council members have been there for an event with one of our many nonprofits. And then just kind of to finish on a couple of quick notes, we have done some more construction at the Music City Center. We opened another food and beverage outlet at the corner of 8th and Demumbrian that opened up in January called Fresh Pick Market and Cafe. If you've not been there, I encourage you to stop. Anyone in downtown that's not been there, I encourage them to stop. We're open 7 days a week. And then additionally, we're continuing to do some other enhancements. As y'all know, we're involved with the garage at 5th and Broadway. We've bought another parcel of land to start working as an area for trucks to stage in, along with some additional off-site parking to try to free up a little bit of the congestion around the center. And so as we continue to work through those over the next couple of years as they finish up. As we look at where we're going to look at for this next year, fiscal 19, what our board approved, you have in front of you, operational revenues. Our 3 big buckets are going to continue to be food and beverage, rental, and parking. And then from an expense standpoint, we'll always be in personnel. We're in the people business. And so the number of staff that we have and what it takes to take care of groups coming in and out of the city. So we're always going to be a big staffing number from there, because that's what we do. Share do have some information. I won't go through those with tax collections for you so far where we are this year. And then kind of when you get to page 14, show you where we see our total budget numbers coming in for this next fiscal year in 19. And then the last couple of slides talking a little bit about our capital commitments and what we have in the coming years. We give the board, we do a 5-year plan each year that's updated. So we talk about future annual commitments, both in debt service and in hotel payments we have. And then on the kind of the last slide, page 16, we'll show you what our total capital commitments we anticipate over the next 5 years, and that's just under $140 million as we look out over the next 5 years. And then I did. Sorry, I have one last thing, Council Chair Lady, is that I did not mention hotel development. Get asked that question a lot. We do have some information in here for that. About 5,000 rooms under development down in the downtown area right now, with another 3,000 in planning. We'll see a couple of those projects open up here very soon. And sorry for the lengthy, I guess, intro, but certainly happy for any questions, and just thank y'all for all that you do to help us each day. So.
No, you're fine, Mr. Starks. Councilman Cooper.
Oh, thank you. It's a treat to have you back. I'm awed by these numbers, and just making sure that I understand them correctly. That you will run probably a $48 million cash surplus this year between taxes and the operating profits, and bookings are as good as they've ever been. And then you have a 5-year, $140 million sort of capital budget to be funding out of that. So if all the next years were as good as this year, then that might be $240 million worth of cash but a cash need for about $140 million between now and 2023.
That would be, if we maintain that same pace, yes.
If you all are able to maintain that. And then the reinvestment, obviously some of it is lumpy with the Fifth and Broadway project. It's over $40 million. But you feel like you've got a good capital needs number in that reinvestment, in that $140 million that you're keeping your facility up to where it should be.
We do currently, unless we certainly were to see something. I mean, I'll give you a quick example, Councilman. When we came to you last year and gave you our annual report, you would not have seen some of the security enhancements that we decided as a board to improve this year. So that was another $5 million off of a Homeland Security recommendation. So there's capital we didn't anticipate 2, 3, 4 years ago. We continue to see some of those areas. And then certainly the other thing that we've got to continue to focus on as the building as it ages a little bit. But then what's it look like 5 and 10 years from now if we decide to expand some space? What else we do?
But you've put in some capital improvement estimate in all those years, and if everything goes well, bookings remain strong, your cash balance may go up $100 million in 2023.
Potentially could, yes, sir.
Potentially could. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Councilman. Councilwoman Allen.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Starks, appreciate you being here and bringing all these people to Nashville. One question that was asked to me by someone who runs a tourist attraction is that the wayfinding signs are becoming dated, and she can't figure out who's the keeper of those. And it seems like, do y'all get some of the, quote, tourist development money and spend some of that, or is that totally out of your purview?
Council Lady, maybe you could help me. Which wayfinding signs are you referencing?
They're the big brown ones with the green band across the bottom that tell you how to find things. So if we're bringing all these tourists to Nashville, they're things that have been built that don't show up on those signs anymore. So I know that of the 6 cents on the hotel motel tax, a certain chunk of that goes specifically to pay off
Debt service.
the debt service, and another penny of that goes to the tourist promotion. And to me, that seems like it should come under that category, and I don't know if y'all are the ones who spend that money or who spends that money.
No, of the 6 cents that comes in, 3 of that's coming to us, more or less. There's a little exception there. 2 pennies of that goes to the Convention and Visitors Corporation to
okay.
promote the city and the events they do. And then there's another penny of that goes to the Metro General Fund that the council and the mayor decide how to spend that money. So y'all allocate that out as you see fit. Those signs that were put in back, I know now a number of years ago, was kind of in combination with Public Works and the Downtown Partnership. Mm-hmm. Now, who maintains those on a daily basis, on a
Right.
once a year basis or whatever with new additions? That I'm not sure.
Okay, so if it did come under, quote, tourist promotion, then that would be under the CBC perhaps, but not you.
Or perhaps under the 1% that goes to Metro potentially. As it did
Gotcha.
not come under us, no ma'am.
Okay. Well, we'll try to make sure people know how to get
Okay.
to all those things. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Councilwoman Henderson.
Thank you, Chair Vercher. Thank you, Director. I'm interested to understand here with your existing and future capital commitments regarding the $40 million to Fifth and Broadway. Can you explain how that works and why you all are making that investment?
Yes, ma'am. Be happy to, Council Lady. Back when the project was first being worked on and there was some redevelopment conversations around the Fifth and Broadway and the RFPs were put out and came back in, one of the things that became pretty apparent early on was in order to get something to really work and to get a developer that could go in there, could build the retail and build the 3 components that we're talking about, the retail, the office, and also the residential, that in order to be able to get this project off the ground, there was some delta there, and the parking garage was one of those. So at that time, we were asked to take a look at, would we be willing to invest in a parking garage that we would own in that facility, and in addition, so that's a portion of the money. So our board elected to build that parking garage, and we'll own it and lease it back to the development for lease payments. The other part of that was some work for the Renaissance Hotel, which we were able to enter into a long-term 20-year room block agreement with the Renaissance to update some existing Nashville Convention Center space that was there that was going to be staying. And so the board agreed that getting a room block from the Renaissance was very beneficial to us, which we certainly agree. And so the combination between the two is $38.5 million is the total number. So 34.5 for the garage and $4 million is going toward the hotel project.
Alrighty, and then can you speak to 424 Lafayette and what that is, please?
Yeah, we purchased a piece of land for a little over $5 million at 424 Lafayette. It's really at the corner of 4th and Elm and Lafayette. And what we're looking to use that piece of land for is additional parking off-site when we need parking. But as importantly is a marshaling yard so that when trucks are coming into downtown, those that are coming in for shows, we have a place to stage them instead of them trying to just stop wherever they may choose sometimes and hold them there until we call them to come over to the facility. So it'd be kind of a joint parking and opportunity along with a marshaling yard for us.
So currently, it's just a surface lot for purposes
Currently,
of staging.
it's a surface lot with just grass on it. Yeah, we're in the process of getting the plans finalized. We've already been with codes and stormwater and getting that ready, and we should start work there very soon, actually.
So you're going to build more structured parking?
No, we're just going to build, it will be just a surface lot.
Okay, so
It's
you're just
gonna be a
improving the surface lot?
Yes, yeah, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, right now it's just a grassy field.
And how many structured parking spaces are you building in 5th and Broadway, and at what cost per space?
There's about 800 total spaces, so $34.5 million. So it's going to be somewhere around, what, $43,000 a space?
$42,000 a parking space?
Yeah, somewhere in that neighborhood, yeah.
Okay.
That's off the top of my head, so that's.
No, I appreciate that.
That's McGavick and University of Tennessee Mass, so if I'm off just a little bit.
No, understood, yeah. No,
disclaimer.
I know that they can always cost, well over $30,000 a space. So
Yeah.
I think it's good for the community to hear that and recognize the cost of structured parking.
Right.
Can,
And I'm sorry, Councilor, and that's also underground structured parking.
understood, yeah.
Yeah, so that's
Being
even extra
underground.
cost, yeah, more so than
Absolutely.
elevated, yes, ma'am.
Versus above ground, understood, absolutely. So when your board kind of comes together into that conversation, I recognize the location of 5th and Broadway was the former older convention center, and so that's why you're engaged there. For your purposes at the convention center, do you feel that the structured parking that you have at present, when you have a major convention center, an event, et cetera, how are you kind of from a capacity standpoint? Do you have some shared arrangement in funding this with 5th and Broad, or will you administer that or share that parking in any way, or is that just solely going to be for the purpose of the 5th and Broadway development?
That'll be solely for the purpose of 5th and Broadway.
Okay, and
Not be for overflow for the Music City Center.
and will y'all garner any revenue from that or administer that in any way?
Yeah, there's a lease arrangement where
Okay.
they're paying us back monthly, and then there's some other arrangements in there how they pay us back our money, yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Councilman Roden.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Mr. Starks, for being here. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
I had a question. I was just thinking, when you were talking about employees, and I was thinking, you'll go for a week at a time and you won't have any conventions here, and then 2 weeks later, you'll have the whole place packed. Do you ever have difficulty in the Nashville market getting enough employees to work for you? And if so, is salary ever an issue? And just kind of, could you talk about that a little bit on trying to get employees into service all at one time like that, and you're using temp service, or do you have them kind of just out there ready to work for you when you can get them? Just if you could discuss that a little bit, I
Absolutely.
appreciate it.
Thank you, Councilman. Yes, certainly, happy to. We have between CCA staff and our food and beverage contractor, which is indeed our staff. We pay all those costs. We have about 250 full-time staff currently and about 330 part-time. And the part-time are predominantly all in banquets. And so those individuals will work in a host of different locations. They may very well serve breakfast at the Omni, lunch at the Music City Center, and dinner at Gaylord Opryland, for example. So that's folks that will work around the city that we're able to utilize. And we got a pretty good base of those individuals we can call upon. What we do is that we staff the building to be able to handle what the normal small business level if you call it that, would be, so that we've got enough security, enough housekeeping, enough engineering, culinary, et cetera, to handle things except for the kind of the peaks, if you will. With that, we use contract companies. We have a contract janitorial service, a contract kind of facility setup labor. We have a contract security company that just supplements our team that we have on an on-call basis. So now the one beauty of working so many years into the future is we do know what's coming. It's not like we get, all at once a big walk-up of people unexpectedly. So we are able to schedule that with our contractors. However, I can tell you in the 5 years we've been open, we have never been fully staffed. There will be some position that's been open for all 5 years. Culinary in particular, we're constantly, just like you read about and hear about around the city. So we've never been fully staffed during that time. We do wage surveys every year. We do cost of living increase. It's a very competitive. I'm proud to say that from our perspective, we are in the upper tier of that. We think that's important. We think we've shown that with customer service we've been able to achieve from our team and what they've been able to accomplish. And then certainly benefits are a key component of that. We provide all of our staff, bus passes, so they can certainly ride the bus or the train for public transit. We have a number of individuals, that's how their commute to work. And so we're trying to reach all the ways again. That's one of the reasons for our involvement in like Hunter's Lane. I didn't mention this, but we're also involved with Nashville State in their 2-year program and also Tennessee State University's new 4-year program that's underway, trying to recruit and really keep people in town once they get here and then will stay in this industry. So, but it's a challenge for us every single day. If that answered, I hope that answered everything. Thank you, Councilman. Yes.
Thank you so much. Seeing no other council members seeking recognition, I'm going to get you. Councilman Glover.
I want to say something before you adjourn us for the evening. I don't have a question on, on this.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Starks.
Very much, Council Lady. Thank you.
And before I go to Councilman Glover, I want to thank the committee members. Thank you so much. Committee members and also the council members. Tomorrow, May 8th, May 9th, May 10th, we'll continue with our fiscal year 2018-2019 operating budget hearings. As I stated in the beginning, we're implementing a SharePoint where all of us can be on the same accord, and it's going to serve as a repository for questions and answers that we seek as it relates to the operating process. And per rule, we're only going to be discussing the operating budget. I want to thank Director Lomax O'Neill also, again, council staff, again, for making sure that we had our materials ready on the first day of budget hearing. So, yeah, we're clapping for that. Okay, Councilman Glover, before we adjourn.
Thank you, Chair. I realize that we have a very complicated budget this year, and I get it, but, we were warned of where we were going to be over the last few years, and frankly, I think we owe it to the employees to really be diligent on the way that we look at this on the COLA. And so I know I spent the weekend, I'll spend next weekend, I'm going to spend a lot of time combing through every bit of this. And so I just hope that we will keep an open mind because I think our employees deserve us taking every opportunity to be able to honor what our word is. That's important to me, and I hope we as a body will keep that important. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Councilman Glover. And it is. It's without saying that we're going to have some difficult choices to make, and our political will definitely be tested this budgetary cycle. One of the reasons why I wanted to implement the SharePoint is going to afford us to be on the same page. And I'm not suggesting or implying that departments do this, but my time on budget and finance, I ask a question to a department, you may ask a question to a department, and when we compare notes, we've received two different answers. So in an effort of making sure that we're all on the same page and we're getting the same information that we have to work off on to make better decisions as we proceed through the budgetary process, I just ask that we just collectively work together, submit your questions to Danielle, copy and myself to Mike, and we'll get those over to the respective department heads so it could be cataloged so that at any point in time, Council Member Henderson would know what I'm asking and what the answer is and so forth. We have not always been afforded that opportunity to have access to one another's information. So I think it's going to be critical this budgetary cycle. With that said, thank you, committee members. Thank you, council members. And I will see you tomorrow at 4 o'clock, 1600. We are adjourned.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information about this and other programs, visit nashville.org.